What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. Today on the left side here we have Snake Eye going up against the Voiceless voice deck. Both decks getting new support in the form of the Legacy of Destruction. We have the Snake Eye Diabellstar on the Snake Eye side, alongside for Voiceless voice they got a new spell as well as a new Saphira. They aren't really playing the Saphira. And a lot of decks are only playing, so I guess both new decks just got one new card to support. I know on the left side here it is the Snake Eye version with the Sky Speaker cards in it, so no hand traps most likely, and we have now a triple engage. Before we dive into the light comms strat, we are going to be seeing the Voiceless voice player choosing to go first here. Going to be starting off with a pre-prep, letting us add a copy of the spell alongside the copy of the ritual here. So we're going to be going for our copy of the prayer alongside the copy of Skull Guardian. Being an Omni Negate is quite nice. Then we're going to see a prayer is going to be activated discarding the copy, or using the, I should say not discarding, but we're going to be seeing prayer is going to be using the Triarchia to go for a copy of the Skull Guardian here. Then we're going to do a normal summon with the low. Right away we have now our Omni Negate on the field, and the low is going to be able to place the barrier. And then Barrier can also either search for the copy of Barrier or the Radiance, the Trap, or the new spell, depending on which one we need or which one we think are going to be in this matchup. We are going to go for a copy of the Saphira instead. And we could use the Saphira here to dump the copy of Prayers and search for a copy of the Circus there, so trying to be a nice little hand trap. We then can banish to summon it out, and now we can actually use the Circus as a way to stop a summon, which is pretty nice. Having the double usage. And we're going to see the low summon herself back out. We set one card and pass, and we also have Ash in the hand. So we're going to start off with a Wanted here, and that's going to be able to search for a copy of the Diabellstar here. I believe it just searches for This can't search for the new Diabellstar, right? It does. So you can actually search for the Snake Eye Diabellstar here. We're going to go for the Diabellstar of the Black Witch. And then we're going to activate the Widow Anchor there to try to take, or we're going to activate the Engage first here. Okay. Yeah, you can't target the lights. They're going to Ash that here. We do now have access to talents. We're going to activate the talents here. And they are going to Skull Guardian negate that. They do send it with the droplets to negate that Skull Guardian there. Then we are taking the copy of the Circus. Then they're going to go for a copy of the Diabellstar with this here, making it so they can do it. And they have the imprint for it anyways there, so they're going to be activating the effect. And we see it get hit. That's so unfortunate there. They're like, okay, well, we can stop the summon, so we're going to be able to find a way to take that Circus. And then now, instead, we get hit with that. They could still go battle phase and attack into the, well, I guess they have to attack into the copy of Skull Guardian here. But now they will be able to actually activate the effect of the Widow Anchor if they got rid of the Diabellstar, but they cannot. They just set one card and pass on this. They do have two cards in hand, and they have the Barrier as well as the Prayer in the graveyard. So we're going to see the effect of the Barrier going to activate here, letting us search for a copy of the Old Man Circus. This card is kind of crazy. It's like it just summons itself out inherently. Or I guess it doesn't start a chain there. So we're going to be putting back those two, the prayer alongside the pre-prep, the summon itself out. And it looks like we have two rituals in the hand as well. So we're going to see Cerberus attack into the Diabellstar. We're not choosing to activate the effect here, which is interesting. I feel like we could activate and then chain the Widow Anchor to take, but I suppose they get it back during the end phase, I believe. So there might be no point of doing that. Just trying to wait for the next one. I guess the next turn, seeing what we draw into. And we do activate Engage. Once again, they're going to be chaining Cerberus to bounce, and then we're going to be chaining the effect of Widow Anchor. They chain the other Cerberus. And then we can summon out the copy of the Skull Guardian there. And we do get that draw. And then we get to get the search for the copy of Saphira with that copy of Skull Guardian. And they do have the copy of Hornet Drones to summon. We're going to Skull Guardian negate this. And we do have Bonfire in the hand. If we do have an Ash to respond, we do not. So we're going to search for the copy of Ash. I wonder if there was a reason to do that. Maybe they wanted to stop them from getting into like the Kagari add back the engage search once again, and like getting those multiple uses of the card. But we're going to be seeing Poplar going to be summoned. Poplar is going to activate, or Poplar going to be added to the hand. Activate the effect of Poplar. The search. We're going to search for the copy of Origins here, and now we are off to the races. We have kind of used those Snake Eye cards, or I guess we have used those Sky Striker cards to do their purpose. By baiting out those negates, getting us the additional draws. And then we also have kind of burned down our opponent's resources. But they do have, of course, the 2 cards left in hand, one of them being the Cerberus. And then other uses as well. We are going to be going for the Nightmare Phoenix here, actually sending and going to be Poplar, going to be equipping it. So now we've gotten rid of the barrier there, or not equipping it, but placing it onto the Spell and Trap card zone. We activate the effect of the Origin, sending the Poplar in the Spell and Trap card zone, summon out the Oak. Oak's going to bring back the Poplar. And now we're doing for the full Snake Eyes combo here. We can go Oak, send if we want to, or we can even link up in this case. Or wanted to draw as well, I suppose, in first. But we're going to go for the copy of the Flameburge. And then we're going to Flameburge push the Ritual into the Spell and Trap card zone. We're going to go Battle Phase, attack, and then attack. Then we can go up into a Princess as well. Flameburge can summon out the copy of the Poplar as well as the Oak. Then we're going to summon out the copy of Flameburge here. And then we can actually link up if we want to here. We are kind of forced to link up into something. They could go for maybe the Hita here and then go up into a copy of Celine. Celine can bring back out the copy of the Diabellstar. I believe it has to be in a zone she points to, but I don't think it really matters. And then Diabellstar will be able to set the copy of Wanted. Then we can go for a copy of the Appaloosa for 2. And our opponent is now on simply there was 3 cards in hand, one of them being the Old Man Cerberus. And I think they have 2 copies of Saphira here. So we're going to be putting those 2 cards back, the Prayer as well as the copy of Barrier to summon itself out. And do we Flame, or do we Princess here is a question. We're going to Battle Phase, attack into the Appaloosa. So, getting rid of that is quite fine with us. We do then see the Saphira in the hand, activate the effect, sending itself, and then dumping the copy of the Prayers here. And we do have all the rituals in the graveyard, unfortunately. We normal summon Ash. And so the next step is going to be to special summon away here, going for a copy of can you not make Dynamundo? Don't you need 2? Don't you have to use a ritual monster? I'm pretty sure you have to use a ritual monster for Dynamundo. What? I have to pull out Dynamundo here. Yeah, including a ritual monster. I mean, it doesn't really matter here because I can just go princess and summon to pop, but yeah, you can't Dynamondo when it's case personally to one from ritual monster both in the deck. Yeah, Flame Burge would, or not even Flame Burge, but we would see the if it was a legal summon that activate the effect, probably target the copy of the Flame Bird, would see Princess pop, and then that would be kind of just game from there. We're going to get like so much extension going through it. But we see the Snake Eye player end up taking the win here versus Voiceless Voice. You know, when you have a lot of the ritual cards, the grind game of Voiceless is good, but they need to get that like advantage, and we didn't really see any advantage being gained. We just saw like them using it, and then like those Skyscraper cards just took so much of the advantage away of the Voiceless player. Like being able to search, you have to use your negate, or else you're going to start, you know, getting that so much advantage. Like we can't let numerous copies of Engage resolve essentially, and it's like once you get even one copy of Engage resolving, it automatically just becomes kind of like a resource loop where you've lost because like they can search for whatever the missing piece they needed. If they want to summon back out to add back Kagari, they can add back Kagari, and at that point, just like, oh no, what are we doing? But going on to game number 2 here, we are going to be most likely seeing Voiceless Voice going first once again. And they start off with a copy of Prod of Prosperity. This is not the best at all here. They're going to be seeing Prayer, Ash, Prep, Saphira, and then also a copy of the Cerevis. We add that pre-prep. We're going to activate pre-prep here, searching for the Skill Guardian alongside the copy of Prayer. It's kind of crazy how we lost so many of the Omni Negates, and then we just have Voiceless Voice ending on an Omni Negate. Like, it kind of just solidified that whole Sword Soul, Voiceless Voice upgrade kind of type thing. But they took away their Omni Negate, so now it's just like, oh, well, what do you got? It's like Sword Soul is now super fair minus Protos, but Voiceless Voice still kind of has the fairness problem, where they do go into these heavy combos that can easily be interrupted, but they end on an Omni Negate, which can be enough, especially when we just don't have that many Omni Negates at all in the format anymore, or in the game at all. But we're going to be seeing them summon out, you know, the low by using it as the full cost for the ritual, and then we're going to get the effect of the Skull Guardian alongside of the low here, searching for that copy of Old Man Cerevis. We've already used that Saphira in the graveyard, so it doesn't really matter. So I guess that's not true. It does not matter. That's why we search the other one here. We're going to activate, or we're going to just resolve the Old Man, summoning himself out. And then we set 2 cards here and just pass. And I believe one of them is a trap card for the Voiceless Voice ones, the Radiance or whatever. And it looks like we do draw a Cop of the Grave. Or that could be an Origins as well. No, it is Call of the Grave. QCR, by the way. And a Thrust. Lots of spells. We're going to normal summon with the Snake Eye Ash here. Starting off strong with the Snake Eye combo. We're going to be Cerevis. So it's going to activate its effects here. And then we also chain the Imperm on the Snake Eye Ash. We're going to chain Droplets here to send with just 1. So it's going to be dodging the Imperm as well as negating that copy of the Skull Guardian. But if they can summon out another Skull Guardian here, it's still going to have its Omni, yeah. And so we're going to go Poplar effect to summon now. Then we can activate the effect of the Poplar here to search for either the field spell or the copy of the Origins. I believe they already have the Origins in the here, and therefore they're going to be summoning out that copy of, or placing the spell here. And then we're going to see the Radiance being flipped face up. We activate the field spell. And then we're going to be destroying both those cards here, leaving our field wide open now. Poplar is going to be putting itself back into the spell and trap card zone. And if we could find a way to get that copy of Skull Guardian in the graveyard here, our Call of the Grave would help out significantly, but there's not really much we can do. I mean, maybe if we got to search for a copy of like Lightning Storm, but we're going to be seeing the copy of the Call of the Grave. We're going to see the copy of Origin Send, and then we're going to go for the copy. We're going to see Ash being responded to the Origins. We're going to chain Call of the Grave. That's going to get negated with the copy of Skull Guardian. Then we're going to see the Thrust, searching for a copy of Engage here. And will these Skyscraper cards get us through this? We're going to see Engage search us for the copy of the multi-roll, or not multi-roll, but the summon one. And then we get to draw the Hornet Drone, is what I'm looking for. Summon up the token here, link away the token into the copy of the Kagari. Kagari, add back the copy of the Widow Anchor, or not Widow Anchor, but the Hornet Drones once again. Link up into the copy of Hita. Hita can then take the Ash Blossom from our opponent's graveyard. And then we get to link up into a copy of... Do we play Access Code is the question. We're going to Talents here to take. We take the Skull Guardian. I wonder if there's a world where you just take the low so that you can now use other stuff. We're going to be seeing... Yeah, I feel like you just take the low there so that the barrier protection is no longer live. And then, since you're going to send it anyways, you know, you can just leave the 2 Skull Guardians on the field. Then you can summon out either the copy of the Oak or the Flamberge. Going for the Flamberge, which is kind of just safer in this zone. We can see the Flamberge going to be equipping the Kagari here. Summon out the Solemn Great Raging Phoenix. Then we summon back out the copies of the Oak as well as Poplar. We're going to go for Zealantis here. And then Zealantis is going to be summoning... Or I guess we can activate the effect of Zealantis here. Going for Raging Phoenix. Raging Phoenix is going to be sending the copy of the Thrust to pop the copy of Barrier there. We do get to draw a card because it is co-linked. And then we're going to be seeing the effect of Zealantis. And then I'm going to put them both in face down. Then we're going to summon out the copy of the Princess. We hit that with a copy of Seravis. And then we're going to go Battle Phase, Attack, Pop. And then they're going to swing here with the Raging Phoenix summon back out. But, yeah, there's not very much we can do. They're on 2 cards, one of them being the Seravis. They're going to top deck here. They have the Prayers in the graveyard. That is an unknown. We're going to go into the SP Little Knight. SP Little Knight's going to be able to banish most likely the copy of the Low there in the graveyard. You want to make sure that if they do Ritual Summon, it doesn't come back. And then they're going to be able to go Engage once again as their final card here. Searching for the copy of Widow Anchor. And then drawing a card and setting one and passing. There's no way they top deck Engage. That was crazy. So we have to deal with a Widow Anchor as well as an SP Little Knight here. Which can be quite problematic. We're going to see the Old Man Seravis going to be putting... I think it has to put back... Yeah, put back 2. We can put back those 2. Prayer as well as the copy of the Barrier here. I think we have Prayer in the hand as well. They can't even go battle phase. If we can just take that copy of the Circus. They're going to attempt to attack into the SP. It's going to die here. Okay. Taking the damage. I guess we just don't want to burn our resources. We give two Skull Guardians in the graveyard as well as one Circus. They can't really Ritual Summon here. So we're going to activate the effect. We're just going to, get the SP's going to take the damage there, and then we're going to pass turn on that. We then activate the effect of the Origins to try to put back the Poplar and let us search. They're going to chain the Circus there to summon out one from the deck. And chances are we're going to summon out a copy of our Circus so they can just stop the negate. And then we search for a copy of the Kurikara here. We're going to chain Widow Anchor on the Circus while we have no monsters in our main monster zone. And this kind of just seals a deal, to be honest. You know, now we have 3 cards left in the hand. But we know one of them is Circus, which does nothing, and they didn't do anything last turn, so, you know, we kind of want to say that the cards are not going to help them out a lot. And, you know, if it is a nib, we can just hit that with the Circus. But yeah, they're just going to be able to go battle phase, and that's just going to be game there. We're going to see them admit defeat. So we see Snake Eyes taking the games, and not even the Snake Eye Engine being the power plays here. We saw that the Skystar cards were really shining through this, being able to just outgrind them in the game one, and then drawing those cards, letting us get those interruptions, but just kind of just crazy there. We also saw the talents and the thrust in the deck being kind of just going hard, which was kind of cool, you know, being able to stop those stuff. And Forbidden Drop is being an insane card as well, you know, not being able to respond and then stopping those negates, which is really cool. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. Just stay safe. Peace.